The United States has been at war with Iran for over a month. And here's what most coverage is not telling you. There's a very clear money trail running through this war. It connects Trump's son-in-law, Trump's sons, and the Saudi government that is pushing the hardest to keep this war going. So today I'm going to show you 3 things. First, what happened in the stock market on the morning of March 23rd and why it raised serious questions about who knew what before Trump said anything publicly. Second, who Jared Kushner is actually working for while he's supposed to be negotiating peace. And third, how Trump's sons just positioned themselves to profit from the very war that their father started. So let's get into it. On March 23rd at 6:49 in the morning, New York time, something unusual happened. Out of nowhere, no news, no announcement, nothing public, activity in the stock market spiked sharply, and oil prices started moving at the exact same time. 15 minutes later, at 7:05 a.m., Trump posted on Truth Social that the US and Iran had held productive conversations and that he was halting planned strikes on Iranian power plants.
Well, as the war rages on, there are new reports now suggesting insider trading on oil. The Financial Times is reporting that traders placed $580 million worth of oil bets just ahead of President Trump's social media post Monday morning on Iran talks. The paper says that the bets came about 15 minutes before the president's post touting productive talks and postponing strikes against Iranian power plants and energy infrastructure for 5 days.
The stock market jumped more than 2.5% instantly. Oil prices dropped nearly 6%. And here's the thing about those two movements. If you had quietly bet before Trump posted anything that oil prices were about to drop and the stock market was about to go up, you would have made a lot of money very fast. According to the Financial Times, whoever made those trades at 6:49 that morning stood to make an estimated $580 million. 15 minutes before Trump said a single word publicly. Now, we don't know who made those trades, but multiple hedge funds noted that this was not a one-time thing. This was one of a number of examples in recent months of large trades being made right before official U.S. government announcements. When someone consistently bets correctly on government announcements before they happen, there's a name for that. It's called trading on insider information. Information that belongs to the American public being used for private profit. Now let's talk about who Trump put in charge of negotiating peace. Not the Secretary of State, not anyone that works for the State Department. Trump sent his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, a real estate developer with no diplomatic experience. And here's the problem with that. While Kushner is in the room supposedly negotiating to end this war, he's being paid over $110 million by the government that is lobbying the hardest to keep the war going. Here's how that works. After Trump left office in 2021, the Saudi government invested $2 billion into Kushner's private equity firm. The Saudi government investment arm, controlled directly by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, put $2 billion into Kushner's company. According to an investigation released in March by the Senate Finance Committee and the House Oversight Committee, Kushner has since collected more than $110 million from the Saudi government. That same Saudi government also finalized a $7 billion real estate development deal with the Trump Organization earlier this year. Hotels, golf courses, luxury properties, all in Saudi Arabia, all backed by Saudi government money. And Crown Prince MBS, he has been privately lobbying Trump not to end this war. According to the New York Times, he called it a historic opportunity. He pressed for strikes on Iran's energy infrastructure. He argued that Trump should consider putting troops inside Iran. Meanwhile, Jared Kushner's firm is currently seeking to raise an additional $5 billion from foreign investors and has already met with the Saudi government about that. Now, Iran has already refused to meet with Kushner because they concluded that he's not there in good faith. So, in plain language, the man that Trump chose to negotiate peace is being paid over $110 million by the government that wants the war to continue. And that man is already in talks with that same government about his next fundraise. That's not a conflict of interest. That is a business arrangement. And then there's this, reported by the Associated Press. Trump's 2 oldest sons, Eric and Donald Trump Jr., just signed a deal with a Florida-based drone company called Powerus. The deal gives them ownership stakes in the company. And right now, Powerus is doing weapons demonstrations across the Middle East, specifically targeting countries that are under attack from Iranian missiles, countries that are in danger because of a war that Donald Trump started. Powerus recently raised $60 million from investors and is now moving to go public quickly. And the Pentagon has set aside $1.1 billion to build up U.S. drone manufacturing. The sons of the president are now positioned to compete for that money. Those are our tax dollars funding a company that Trump's war created the market for. So here's what this looks like when you put it all together. Crown Prince MBS gives Kushner $110 million. MBS gives the Trump organization a $7 billion real estate deal in Saudi Arabia. MBS privately lobbies Trump to start and keep the war with Iran. Trump starts the war on February 28th without asking Congress. And then on March 23rd, someone makes an unusually timed $580 million trade in the markets before Trump posts anything publicly. And Trump's two oldest sons sign a deal with a drone company that is now selling weapons to the countries this war put in danger. That's the thread, and now you've seen it. The United States has been at war with Iran for over a month. No clear objectives, no exit plan. And the people who push for this war are getting richer. That is what is actually happening here, and now you know about it. I am Silvia Salazar, and this is Breaking the Feed.
La la.